Imagine walking alone through a silent forest, the sky darkening as the last rays of sunlight vanish behind the trees. The air is cold, and every step you take echoes through the emptiness. It feels like you're alone until you hear it. A whisper, software distant, almost too quiet to be real. But somehow it knows your name. This is the legend of the Whispering Phantom, a spirit cursed to haunt Blackwood Forest. No one knows where it came from, only that those who hear its voice rarely return. It started with Daniel Carter, a hiker who went missing 5 years ago. He had been live streaming his journey, joking with his viewers as he wandered deeper into the woods. Then, in the middle of his broadcast, he suddenly stopped. His expression shifted from amusement to confusion, then fear. He turned his head slightly, listening. "Did you guys hear that?" he asked. His voice was barely above a whisper. "Someone just said my name." The chat flooded with messages, some telling him to keep going, others laughing, thinking it was just a prank. But Daniel's face remained pale. His hand shook as he held the camera. Then the feed glitched, just for a second. When it came back, his wide eyes were locked onto something behind the camera. He didn't speak. He didn't move. Then, without warning, the screen went black. Daniel Carter was never seen again. Since his disappearance, hikers, campers, and even search parties have gone missing in Blackwood Forest. Those who were lucky enough to escape all tell the same story. First, the whisper. Then, the feeling of being watched. And finally, the overwhelming sense of something moving just out of sight. Some claim to have seen a shadow darting between the trees, always too fast to fully glimpse, yet undeniably there. Others felt the icy touch of breath against their neck, even when no one was near. One survivor, Sarah Mitchell, barely made it out alive. She'd gone camping with her friends, and on the first night, as she lay in her tent, she heard it, her own name spoken just outside. At first, she thought it was one of her friends playing a trick, but when she unzipped the tent, she saw them all asleep by the dying fire. The whisper came again, closer this time. She didn't move. She didn't breathe. Then something brushed against the fabric of her tent, a slow, deliberate motion. She ran. She didn't stop to wake her friends. She didn't stop to grab her things. She just ran. The whispers grew louder, desperate, calling her name over and over. The trees blurred past her, and she could feel something behind her, closing in. Just as she reached the edge of the forest, her vision darkened. The last thing she remembered before losing consciousness was a cold breath against her ear, and a voice whispering, "I see you." When she woke up, she was lying just outside the forest, her arms covered in scratches, her clothes torn. Her friends? They were never found. To this day, no one knows what the Whispering Phantom really is. Some say it's the spirit of a lost traveler, forever searching for company. Others believe it's something much older, something that feeds on fear and loneliness. But one thing is certain: if you ever find yourself in Blackwood Forest and hear your name whispered in the wind, never answer.